The following moments may contain explicit language.
Roger, Charlie, we're ready to rock.
Welcome to the SNLF Dugout Diaries. Today I'm delighted to be joined by Jason Mines, first team manager of Pagham FC. Pagham, nicknamed the Lions, are based in the village of Pagham near Bognor Regis, West Sussex. They're a club which has a rich history within the Sussex footballing scene, especially in the Southern Combination Football League. The club was founded in 1903, making it one of the older clubs in the Sussex area. Initially, the club participated in local leagues and cup competitions, primarily featuring matches against nearby villages and towns. However, as the years passed, the club began to enjoy a significant success, especially during the 80s and 90s, a period often referred to as the Golden Era. Pagham play their home games at Nightingale Lane, a compact but well-maintained ground with a very welcoming atmosphere. The ground is known for its passionate supporters and intimate setting, making it a challenging venue for visiting teams. Jason Mines has held the position of first team manager since June 2023. He had immense success as a youth team manager, including 6 league titles, 5 cup wins, and even a tournament win with teams such as Bognor and Arundel Youth. His leadership, Pagham FC returned to the Southern Combination Premier Division for the 2024 season. He has been praised for his efforts in guiding the team through a challenging period, focusing on player development and aiming to reclaim a strong position in the league. So today, I am delighted to welcome in the dugout first team manager, Jason Mines. Jason, how are you, pal?
All good, Mike. Yourself, mate? Thanks for having us on. Appreciate it, bud.
Yeah, I'm all good. Can't complain. Look, I've a lot of respect for the club you're at the moment. Big club in the community. I had some golden eras over the years and that, but you've been one of the most requested people that we've had on. People are messaging me all over Twitter going, get Jason on, get Jason on. I reckon that's because you're a character, love characters, want to hear about characters. But for people that don't,
probably that's more like it, I think.
But for people that don't know you, Jason,
I'm just a passionate guy, Mike. I think I'm a little bit misunderstood sometimes. I just not all managers. Do you know what I mean? All managers at our level, we put so much time, effort. I don't think you can be a manager at this level if you don't love the game, because it does take up literally. Well, it takes up all my life anyway. So yeah, I'm just a bit over passionate at times. I care maybe a little bit too much, if there's such a thing. This is what I'm getting told. I can only care, but no, I love it, mate. I love it. I love playing the game. I just love football. I just love it.
Fantastic. So the people that might not know of you, Jason, can you give us a little insight into your early life, where you're from, what you do?
Well, I'm actually a Welshman, mate.
Really? You don't sound like it.
Yeah, I was actually born. I'm from Wrexham in North Wales, and my dad was the manager of Butlins, so he used to travel to Barry Island, and then he got the job over here as, I don't know, duty director or something. So he moved us all over to Bognor when we were 6, and I've been here since. I had to move back up to Wrexham when I think I was about 11, 12. Yeah, it was about 11. Yeah, I was playing for Rich. Then I had to move away for a year. My mum and dad split up, and then I came back, and then I've been here ever since. I'm a Welshman really, but I'm more.
To be fair, you're the most English sounding Welshman I've ever heard. But we won't talk about that. But
it's hard to get your boot, though, can you? I mean, all my family, all that side of Welsh, so my dad's side of English, so yeah, there's a bit of Welsh in me, mate.
Good.
Calling me a glory hunter now because Wrexham are doing so well. But
yeah, I mean, yeah, they are doing well out there. Obviously they got big plans up in that club, which is good. It's good for the area. We've got some family that are down that way myself, actually. So they're buzzing. They're getting decent crowds.
No, it's amazing what's happening. Honestly, it's just Ryan Reynolds, owns Wrexham Football Club. It's fairy tale, isn't it? Really,
it is absolutely quality. But so Jason, talk to me, right? I've had your football CV come through. You have had a fantastic success as a youth coach in the
Yeah,
round there. Player development. I believe you won about 6 league titles, 4 or 5 different cups, tournament as well. You know,
yeah.
fantastic. I believe the majority of that was at Bognor. Am I right?
Yeah, well, yeah, it was a bit of both. My first team, my eldest, because basically I've done a team for each one of my boys. So my eldest Josh, he's 22 now. I had that team from under nines. We went right through. We did all the. I took them into the under 18s a year early. We got absolutely annihilated, but it made the boys progress a year earlier. So in the next 2 years of under 18s level, we were really good. So we were East Preston actually for one of those years when COVID hit.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah, so it was
Well, that's
when
when I
COVID.
was at that's when I was at around the club as well at that time because the season got curtailed, didn't it?
Yeah, well, yeah, I had a bit of a fallout with someone at East Preston, and so I had to take my 18s to Bosham. We went over to Bosham and we were playing as their first team. Um, and then after that, I got in contact with Bob, and I said, "Look, we need somewhere to go. We've been together all this time. Do you want us to come over as your 23s?" And he said, "Yeah, definitely." So we went over as the 23s. I think we were there about 2 weeks. And then he said, "Would you like a crack at the first team job?" Um, Truth be told, I don't think I was 100% ready at the time. Do you know what I mean? But
Okay. Why is that? Why didn't you think you were ready?
because I was still I was still doing so much youth. You know, and to be honest, I was so committed to the youth team. I didn't want to just leave them after under 18s football. I didn't want to just go, "Oh, cheers for that, fellas," and then go off on my own way, if you know what I mean. So I wanted to stay with the boys a little bit. So I spoke to Bob and I said, "Look, if I'm going to do it, this is what I want to do. I want to let these boys play, you know, let them become the first team, add 1 or 2 seniors. We're going to finish near the bottom, but you're giving these young lads, instead of 15, 10 minutes every week, or, you know, a 10 minutes little spell at the end of the game here when you're 3-0 down or whatever. I feel like you're fast forwarding their first team lifespan, if you like, by playing them week in, week out. I mean, the only way to learn for me is to play. So we were all, you know, we got to the semi-final of the League Cup. We didn't get relegated, but again, unfortunately, it was my time was up at Arundel. Unfortunately, I love it. Listen, there's you know, like I said at the start of the podcast, is you've got to love the game, and you know, you've got to love
Agreed.
what we're doing, and you know, there was Arundel I had a little soft spot for because my manager Richie Towers went there,
Yeah.
and obviously Pagham. You know, we were at Wick for a while, so they're the 3 little clubs that you know I've been part of, and you know, you have a little soft spot for. But obviously Pagham's like a dream job for me. It's sort of like the pinnacle for me, really.
Well,
Um,
let's go back a little bit to your youth stuff and the success you've had there.
yeah,
Talk to me about obviously you had with the guys you had a long term vision to blood them into first team county football, let's say. But
yeah.
going back when you had these under 14s, 15, 16 sides, what kind of philosophy or what kind of style were you playing with the lads?
Well, any first team manager will tell you now the hardest thing to coach as a first team manager is the simple stuff, the basics. Two touch, two touch, two touch, two touch, you know, constantly. And it's very hard to teach a 23, 24-year-old that. But it's a lot easier to teach a 9-year-old that. So what I did, I used my first son's team, obviously made a few mistakes. We were a successful side, but once I then did my other 2 kids' teams, I learned a lot from the first team. So I realised the training methods I was doing wasn't really showing out on the pitch. So I
Okay.
just changed the training to lots and lots of running, lots of fitness, and I just didn't. I used to say to them constantly, if you've had 3 touches, you've had too many. You know, just try and get in your head that 2 touch is the way forward. And when I had my Bognor team, you know, they just, you know, they were 9, 10 years old or whatever they were, and they just listened to what I had to say. I don't know. And some of the football that team played were just, well, we used to get 80 people come and watch them. And that's
Oh, I
no
love
lie.
that. Love that.
Yeah, we used to have, they were the talk about. I mean, we represented West Sussex in the one tournament. We won that. We won that at St George's Park. We went over to Portsmouth and beat their under 13s when we were under 12s. We were one of those little teams that come around once in a generation. It's not. Don't get me wrong. It wasn't me really. I was blessed with a very good team. We were playing a year up. I had two kids playing the right age, my striker and my goalie, and the other starting 9 were a year below, and we went undefeated for 3 years. So they were a special group of lads. And to be honest, I'd still be doing them now. But once I got accepted as Pagham first team manager, I couldn't. I think that's where I went wrong with Arundel, Mike. I was doing Arundel first team and 2 youth teams on the Sunday.
That's to me, that's too much because you've got.
Yeah, I've realised that now.
I think
a lot
of people don't understand, and we've both been in the dugout literally, is how much time being a manager, being a first team coach takes up on your day. You're chasing players, you're sorting out fines, you're making sure your staff are ready, the kit's being done, everything's ready for those boys that they can just turn up and play, and that's before you start getting into the things like what kind of personnel am I bringing in? Is there a budget there, left, right, and centre? People don't see that. They just see 16 lads turn up on a Saturday, 1:45, bang, ready for a game. They don't see what's going on. And whereas you're trying to do the Sundays as well, I bet your family are pulling their hair out, and they for the time.
Well, I've got to go over it with a wife, mate, because it's your kids, isn't it? It's my kids. I'm spending time with the kids, love. Fucking give us a break. But no, it didn't. Listen, it got too much. It did get too much because I was doing. I think they were the under 12s, Bognor, and the under 14s, Arundel. What made it a little bit better is because obviously the Arundel first team at the time, we weren't winning every week, so I was very depressed. And then I'd wake up Sunday morning, do the other 2 teams. Both teams won the league undefeated, so I was getting a bit of, I was getting the balance. Do you know what I mean? It was a good little balance. But when the Pagham job came, like everyone knows how much I love the club, and I don't hide the fact I love the club. So, this is probably going to be my last job. I don't want another job. This is it for me. I want to make Pagham brilliant again. It's just like you just said. It's how much hard work behind it all goes. And I'm lucky enough to have a great committee, chair lady, Kelly, that, they're supporting me, and they're just such a fantastic club. Ray, Reese, all of them, they're brilliant, mate. Honest. I couldn't have asked for a better committee.
Let's drill into Pagham because it's a club that I love going to play. I love going away to play. There's always a nice crowd. It seems like a proper football club. At the end of the day, win, lose or draw, you go into that bar, you've got a lovely bit of tucker laid on by the ladies behind the thing. You have a nice beer with everyone. There's an atmosphere there. How did it come about, the first team manager's job at Pagham? How did that happen?
Well, I went for about 700 interviews and they told me to fuck off 700 times. Apparently, my temper wasn't good enough. To be honest,
we'll talk about that in a bit.
Listen, I went 3 times before when I was a youth team manager with my first ever team. And that's when Big T was there. And they just said, Jace, we don't feel like you're ready. We need you, and they were bang on. They were spot on, if I'm honest. It's just I knew I'd give my all, and I wanted to be at the club. I wanted to give my all at. And they just said you wasn't ready. And then, if I'm being honest, I had a job in Dubai. I had a job offer in Dubai.
Yeah, somewhere I've been there over 10 times. I used to work at it. Love the place.
Crazy money, which I'm not going to say on here, but more money than I've ever seen. Tax free. I was like, I'll have it. And then obviously, Dale and Hammy didn't want to go another season, so I knew the job was off. And to be honest, I think I went into the interview for the first time, not really. Of course, I cared. That's the wrong word, but like all the other interviews, I was so desperate for the job. This time, I was like, forget it, Wicked. If I don't, I'll go to Dubai. So it was one of them. Do you know what I mean? And I must have gone in there a bit more relaxed, and I must have said the right things this time. I don't know. And Rocky rang me the next day and said, "Yeah, we like what you said. The job's yours, but you have one chance. You do anything bad, anything with refs or anything, and you're gone." And I've so far so good, really.
Jace, do you reckon? Because I did a bit of research. Absolutely colourful character, as they say, and that. I've heard there's been a few.
Is the word, Michael. Passionate is the word.
Passionate's the word. All right, I'll take the passionate. I've heard nightmare. I've heard legend. I've heard leader. I've heard so many. But what I have heard is a bit similar to myself. We've had our problems with the FA, left, right, and centre. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you reckon? And I'm being honest here because I think it happened to me as well. Do you reckon that previous disciplinary problems maybe other clubs thought, I don't want that problem because they got that with me?
Well, 100%, mate. Even Pagham, there's a few on the committee who have turned around and said, "Look, this is why I love the club. They're open, they're being honest, and that's what all you want, isn't it? Honesty." And they said to me, they turned around and said, "Look, there was half the committee who said this is the wrong appointment. He's a nutcase. He's going to drag the club down." It's true, and they have their right to say that because I was a fucking helmet, mate. I was a dickhead when I played. I haven't got many regrets, but the way I played, not the way I played the game, because I love the way I played the game. You know what I mean? And I love going to battles and war and that. But the way I spoke to officials and some of the tackles I did, were just it wasn't on. And like now I'm a manager, you realise, especially when you're a youth manager, you realise it straight away what a dickhead I was. You know what I mean? And you think I am not coaching that by any way. And I think some people assume that I'm this manager who goes go and kick everyone. That I am the absolute opposite. And anyone who's played for me will tell you that. A red card costs you so much. You need 11 on the pitch constantly, and I feel like I'm getting old and soft here, but I'm genuinely feeling a little bit sorry for these officials now. You know what I mean? It's a tough gig. It's a tough gig, and we know 90% of them have never played football. Now you try and officiate something you don't know that much about. You're basically officiating it by a rule book, and I think it's tough. But I'm saying that on the flip side to that, it pisses me off a bit because you hear constantly the game, and again, rightly so. Without the officials, there is no game of football. Without these guys coming, getting, let's be honest, abused for 90 minutes. They're human beings for a start. They're going to make mistakes. We as managers and players make mistakes, but they get shouted at an awful lot. They don't get paid an awful lot of money, but they do get paid. The players, 90% of players get paid. It's the managers who don't. It's the the managers are at the least, literally the bottom of the pecking order. But we're criticised the most if it doesn't go back right. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's our free time, like every volunteer. We choose to do it. So I'm not playing the violin here. But, like we said already, we put a lot of time into it. Some of us some managers put money into it. And it's a very thankless job sometimes. A couple of shit results, and
you wonder why you do it.
You wonder. I know why I do it. I wonder why people in the background who don't do too much. We're not Man United, and I feel like, or Chelsea or Man City. I feel like sometimes the people behind the scenes of our league clubs, they're quite easy to point fingers when you think, hang on a minute, we do quite a lot here. I don't want to be losing football games. We don't want to be drawing. We all want to win football games. There's just got to be a bit patient sometimes and realise, there's no quick fix, is there? Unless you get a load of money. Unless you've got a lot of money, there's no quick fix. So
I agree with what you're saying there. Look, I myself, as a player, I think like you, old school, want to be that leader. Some guys have to put in that tackle to earn that booking, to get those players G'd up. That's what I've heard a lot of former players have said about you. But one thing I do say, one thing I have heard, and it's a constant, Jace, he'll do anything for someone. to help them out.
Yeah. Well,
You
if they
know?
play.
But no,
If they're not the other team, no. Listen, I do, man. I try my best. I feel like, you know, the kids I've coached and the players I've got now, well, you get a bond with them, didn't you? You get a bond with them. Like, you're asking them to go and do something for you. They do it. How can you not have that bond? You know what I mean? It's like, and you go to the end. It's like Toby Pointing. Everyone knows Toby Pointing, don't they? He's just a fucking legend, the bloke. He would literally run through a wall for you. And I know that saying gets thrown around a lot, but he probably would run through a fucking wall. He's just, and I can't not levitate the players like that. Do you know what I mean? I can't not. And it's a dying thing, isn't it? Like, you know, now it's a dying thing. Like, would I play 400 county games? Probably not now. You know, would they? Like, I was a number 4, a centre half, a number 4.
Same as me.
Yeah,
Same as me.
I would. Rich used to say, "Kick it, head it, and pass it to someone who's better than you," and I was good at doing that. Do you know what I mean? I was good at doing that. I didn't score goals. I just won headers and kicked the ball, and you know what I mean. I feel like. Me definitely, and I feel like a lot of us old school managers are doing it. What I feel like something we've got to learn is to let that go. We've got to let past go. The game's moved on. It's a different game now. Like Jamie Ford, you know, he's 35. He's old. His back's done in, and I keep trying to get him to come back because he's the old school. You know, and it's why I love Toby. He's just old school. But what we've got to do is forget that now. The game's moved on. It's not really. Well, geez, I got put the other day, Mike, for shouting ref. I got put the other day for shouting ref. There was no swear words. I thought it was a foul for us, so I went ref, and I got booked for it. And I said,
do you reckon that's your reputation preceding you?
I think mostly because when I've said you can't book me for that, I've had it 3 times. I replied, it's because you're shouting. And I feel like maybe it's because I've got quite a loud voice, and I don't know. I feel like maybe it's because I'm louder than when I say it, because I'm not saying it. Believe me, I don't really go. I don't really swear at them. I don't do any of that. I just seem to get booked for. I got booked last season for asking how long was left on the sin bin. I said, "Ref, how long on the sin bin?" And he booked me, man.
That probably tells me that there may be a misconception in the officials, because, you know, as you said, these officials, look, they get abuse 90 minutes sometimes, right? They earn shit money for doing it. There's no games without refs. I'm the first one to stick my hand up and say, potentially I'll cross the line a few times. But I feel like if I'd made a mistake, maybe with the same kind of ref, that's in their head. Do you know what I mean? For the next time.
100%,
I actually had it, funny enough, down at Nightingale Lane this year. I was helping out for the 23s. The week before, I'd been booked because someone in the crowd had said something. Yeah, and this is fact, because he even put his hand up and said it was me. But at those 23 games, it goes on the coaches. You know that. Yeah.
Yeah.
We had the same ref the week after down at your place. Great battle with your lot. And I'd said, I questioned the view on something. And again, 2 FA charges in 6 days, mate. Yeah?
Yeah.
But I put that down to, okay, had that not been me the week before, I reckon I'm getting off with that the week after. You know,
so I do agree with that. I can't not agree with that. It's and again, I've seen it. It happens, doesn't it? Again.
Do you feel though, Jace? Do you feel that when you were doing the youth sides, and you know we've got all this respect, this barrier, this I can't speak here, can't do that. Supporters, parents can't say nothing.
Yeah.
Did you find it hard not to react how you would say today when you're in the when you're in the Prem?
To be honest, mate, I did react. I'm not going to lie,
Okay.
I did react. It used to drive me crazy. Like, and that's the biggest shock to me, if I'm being honest. It's like I react worse in youth football than I do in men's football, because I'm dealing with, I feel like, 16 men.
Yeah.
Where with football, you're dealing with some real idiot children, not the ones that'll play for me. You know, you have some. There's always idiots all round in there. Of just want to come,
of course.
Just want to kick your team because your team are good. So they know they can't beat you, so they just come in and absolutely kick you to death. Now, for me, that's shit coaching. If that was my team doing that, I'd be disgusted.
100%.
You know what I mean? I'd be disgusted, and I don't like so. Yeah, I used to like put a good example is I gave up my Bognor team and the other teams when I got the Pagham job. I realised I learned from Andrew I can't do this, but I still helped with my younger teams, Pagham under 14s. I helped do it with Ash Pugh, so I do still do it, but he's in control.
Do you do the under 14s now at Pagham?
Yeah.
What league are you in?
A.
You're in my leagues. I do Lancing United Colts.
Oh, so you're the team that you're our biggest rival then, isn't you?
Yeah, well, I'm coming right for you, lad.
You can come right for me, mate.
I'm coming for you, mate. I'll be seeing you in the dugout.
You're going to see what I'm like on the sideline, boys.
That's weird. No, I did hear a suspicion that. I'm looking forward to that, lad.
Yeah,
we'll talk off air about that anyway.
We'll talk off air about that. Yeah, so I've got me 14s with Ash Pugh.
And you are undefeated at the moment as well. So you
are undefeated, mate. Like all my youth teams.
Yeah.
It's a little record I like to keep. Nah, it's no. Listen, mate. Again, like what we're trying to do at Pagham, which is really, really good, is I've got to give credit to the youth, Natalie, and what she's done with the youth. They're not fully affiliated with Pagham, but they are Pagham, but they're just not affiliated fully. But what we're doing now, and what I went to committee with, and the plans of the future of the club, like I brought up earlier, we're all trying to get the past back. I feel like we're all trying to do that at Pagham because we've had some unbelievable players at our football club. Well, some are at Chai now playing. Some are,
Well, I'm going to dig into those.
Yeah, some are at Stenning. Some brilliant lads, and it drives me a bit. It drives me a little bit mad. I won't lie, and all the players know that. And so instead of banging my head against the wall, keep trying to beg all these ones to come back, we've got to make our own youth thing now. We've got these Aaron Miller's under 18, fantastic group of players. They're in their first
I like
year.
him. Got a lot of time for him. He's a good guy.
Yeah, he's one of my best mates. I tried my hardest to get him to every club I've gone to. I've tried to get him with me. Do you know what I mean? Because he's I agree with his coaching methods. Like he's left out my son he left out my son yesterday. Sorry. Because if you don't do the run in the week, you're out. And I love it.
That's a non-negotiable. He's setting standards.
Yeah, that's it. And the 23s manager, Benny, rings me up and goes, look, Aaron's left Campbell out of the 18s. I can't take him for the 23s. I was like, no, you can't.
James, that's great to hear about your stuff from the youth and everything like that. As I said, I've got a lot of respect for Pagham out there. But what I do know is it's not just you. It's not just the players. Talk to me about some key people around that club that make it tick.
Well, mate, again, I'm saying things that everyone already knows, but at our level, it doesn't. There's no such thing as clubs without these people giving up their free time. And like I said earlier, I'm blessed really with such brilliant committee members. Kelly is, she is Pagham. Her and Ray Nunn, Reese, Rocky, they're just fantastic people. Like Stephen Gill looks after all the money, and believe me, if there's 50p short, he's chasing you for it. He fucking will, mate. But the thing is, you've got to have people like that at the club. You've got to have people who really care, and honestly, they're such an amazing group. And this is why they're the ones who tell me not to get so depressed after a game. But the truth be told, mate, I want to win. I want success for them. I want to put a smile on their faces before anything. And I'm not just saying that to be a corny prick. I'm being genuine, mate. They put so much of their time, effort. Kelly came and watched she came to bloody Vardinians on her anniversary and left her husband at home. I mean,
wow.
I know. First off, Darren, an amazing bloke for letting that happen. But it's like, what kind of chair lady does that? It's like she's phenomenal. And the same with Ray. And obviously, I don't know if you've heard, we lost Eric Nunn, who was, he's been part of the club for mental amount of years, longer than I've been alive.
Our lads comment on that, and I thought whoever did the write-up that posted on social media was absolutely fantastic and should be applauded.
Pharaoh's took our media to another level, really. He's come back in, like, obviously he was helping me with the assist. He was my assistant last year, which didn't work out for some reason or another, but he's come back now and he's doing the media, and he's really took it on great. He really has. The amount of views we're getting and people coming to the website now, I think it's doubled. So he's done a fantastic job with that. And again, you need that, don't you, now? The social media is a massive part of it. And I'm not very good with all that rubbish, but he's brilliant.
Well, that's where we, as in the SNLF brand, we come in and we saw a niche. We thought, hang on. Oh, there's a lot of clubs out here that are trying to get arses through the gate, but they need some exposure. And maybe they need some support. Your guys, Pagham, and there are obviously other clubs as well that do it very, very well. But there's a lot of clubs that haven't got any clue. We don't charge anything, but we're always retweeting, we're always helping with events, things like that, mentioned on the podcast, which brings me to the fact as well. You've got a fantastic thing going on at the moment. I see your skipper out running. He's run nearly a marathon in a few days.
He's a dick, isn't he?
What's going on?
Well, first off, he's a dick. I'm sorry for my language, but mate, he doesn't. I think. Listen, I'm all about the fitness and the running. We've done this. To be fair, an amazing thing we're doing. It's for prostate cancer.
Fantastic.
Another brilliant legend of the club, Stevie Horncastle. He's unfortunately been diagnosed. So us as a group, we want to do our bit. I think again it might have been Ryan who came up with the idea. Let's all get the lads running, or it might have been Aaron. I can't remember. But it's since that my lads have just gone mental. I've been trying for half a season to get them to run. So I think what it is because there's a little tiny bit of a prize for the winner. Whoever does the most miles gets a little bit of dough. So they've all just gone mental. I actually had to put in the group, can everyone stop effing running? We had a game Saturday, do you know what I mean? Wallace is doing 10K on a Friday. Now, what are you doing? Do you know what I mean? But no, listen.
I've got some stats for you because we
It's a great cause, though, and everyone should get involved and get on our website, our socials, and get involved. It's a fantastic thing, and it's a fantastic cause that we're doing.
Well, we're recording on the 6th of the 1st, Monday the 6th. I just want to give a little shout out to some of your lads. So I've got their results at the moment. You've got Wallace leading the way. He's done his marathon.
Yeah.
You've got, I don't know how to say his second name, but you've got Lucas.
Yeah.
He's done his marathon. You've got Standy Naylor. He's done 23 of the 26 miles.
He's 16-year-old, he is. He's
16?
Yeah, mate. But I will say, I think he does run for the county. He's just a phenomenal athlete as a man. Do you know what I mean? 6'3", 16 years old. He's got a bright future, he has.
Oh, keep an eye on him. I've got Josh Staples. He's put in 17 miles.
Yeah.
Even Kelly. Kelly's done 15 miles.
Yes, mate, that's what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. That's walking her dog, by the way. I'm going to say that now. She hasn't been jogging.
and the other ones.
I'm at the bottom of the list with 0, and I.
At the moment, Jace, I can't even see you're registered on it, mate.
Yeah, I'm registered, mate. I've got to get it.
I must also give a shout out to Hayden, who's done 15, Alfie Hughes, 13, Howard.
All on ratings, these are.
12 and a half for Howard, and Bryn. Bryn's banging it out. So,
well, look at Bryn. What is he now? 93? He's 93 years old. He must be. He still looks about 12, but he's not. How he's putting in the fucking. I don't get it. But no, Howard Neighbour, mate. Wow. What a man.
I want to drill into him in a bit. I want to go into your score in a bit. But
you want to drill into him? You want to drill into him, Mike? You might want to rephrase that one, my boy.
I'll edit that out. But anyone that wants to get in contact with Pagham Football Club. That's Pagham FC News on X. It's a fantastic cause for prostate cancer.
Really is.
They're leading the way there. at the moment. Get in calls, drop them a message, see how you can help, even if it's only a couple of quid. Or look, don't have 1 point, stick a point for them behind the bar or something like that. Get those boys done. And that.
Well said, mate.
But anyway, let's draw into. I want to dive into this team that you've got now because let's be honest, the old Prem's a tough division out there.
It is.
I've had a few of the Prem managers on, and that we've had Hassocks, we've had Pat Harding on, we've had Hayward Heath. We've had
by the way, I've got to say about Essex. They're an example at the minute. Their 23s are winning the league. The 18s are winning the league. They're winning the league. They're doing it the right way. Fair play.
Yeah, I mean, we had Pat Harding on a few weeks back, and I was quite strange. So I used to play against him and his brother back in the day, and he seems to have a sustainable way of doing it in there. I think it's going to be. They're there to be shot at that league.
Oh yeah, definitely,
100%. But we had Van Dinians on as well. One thing I get after speaking to all these managers, there's a big shift in budgets.
Well, by the way, Lawrence, top lad, Van Dinians.
Yeah, I have a massive respect for.
Yeah, he's top lad.
He did a fantastic Dugout Diaries with me. That actually did phenomenal numbers. So he's owed a few beers for me, definitely. But one thing that does strike me, and I get this in Div 1 as well when I'm with the Arundel, and you know yourself that Arundel don't pay, things like that.
Yeah.
In your league, you got some people paying ridiculous money.
Yeah.
You got some people not paying money. You got some people like
who lie about the money.
Probably, and I probably ain't speaking out of turn here. You know, some of the managers, possibly even including yourself, help out a little bit where they can, right? How much of a level playing field do you feel that gives in that league?
It's a bit of a sore one for me, mate, because again, going back to the old days, money was always second. It was always second, and now it's definitely first. It's like, how much am I going to get? And it's hard, but I also understand at this level it shouldn't cost money to play football.
No.
And the schedule the league puts on you is crazy. Like over the Christmas period, Boxing Day, and 48 hours later. But the Premier League didn't even do that.
No. Isthmian didn't do it. Isthmian didn't do that.
It's crazy to ask our standard to do that. You've got to remember these players of ours, they're on their holidays.
Yeah.
They're on their holidays, it's their time with their families, and you're just like, money has to be in it. But it's like I say to the club all the time, if you take a squad of 16 players and give them all 50 quid a week, that's £800 a week.
I know. That's a lot of money.
And that's 50 quid. It's a lot of money, and hardly any club can afford that in our league. You know what I mean?
See, the way I look at it, unless you've got what I call a little sugar daddy, and I know there's clubs that exact amount are below the club I'm at, in the league below you, and they're throwing money. It's I won't say their name, but it's a club that we've both.
I know who you're on about.
Yeah, exactly, right. But what I'm saying is, I understand it in your Prem, right? I understand that there has to be there because the Prem's the next level. But I look at your gate attendances. I'm looking now. When you took over the job, right, you were averaging 103 fans. Yeah. Now, you're averaging 147 fans.
Yeah.
That's nearly an extra. That's an extra 44 on average of it. And what do you charge? What, 6, 7 quid?
Yeah, 6 quid and 3 quid for commissions, I think. And we do pass now as well.
Yeah. And everyone that comes in, usually, they're going to have a pint or a coffee or a burger or something like that. So that's where a club like Pagham can show sustainability in there.
Yeah, self-funded at the time, mate. Yeah. We've completely self-funded. Again, going back to the hard work from the people behind the scenes.
Yeah. I mean, I looked at your Christmas raffle, of all things. You sold thousands of tickets. Thousands of tickets.
Yeah, that's Joe, Natalie, Kelly. They sold... I think we sold over 3,500 tickets, I think.
I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah, it was, mate.
Especially if you look around where you are, right? And let's look at in the vicinity. There's a lot. There's a few teams around there. Some are in higher leagues as well. You must be doing something right to draw them in, whether the football is good or whether the atmosphere in the bar is good or whether the whole buzz in the community is good about Pagham. What are you doing right? Because at the moment, I know it's tough where you are in the league.
Yeah. Well, I think what we're doing, that's, I think, again, I think that's what got me the job. I said, it didn't feel like the Pagham when I was there anymore. It felt like, that all the players were either from Portsmouth or all the way over here. There wasn't like local lads there, and no one was staying for a beer at the end. And it was like half hour after the game, the clubhouse was empty. I was like, what the fuck? What's going on here?
Yeah.
And so I brought that up in my interview. And I said, look, even if you don't pick me, if you don't choose me, choose someone who's from here, who loves Pagham, who's going to try and bring those days back. So that's why I want to go down the youth route. And I want to, that's the only way we're going to get the good days back, I feel, unless someone comes in with a load of money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I agree. I did a podcast last week with Gary Mansell over at Burgess Hill.
Yeah.
Obviously, a fantastic high-level coach.
Yeah, their youth team's phenomenal.
Absolutely, but there's been foundations put in place to make it, and now if you look at them, they're carrying the flag for Sussex in their league.
Yeah,
and
they played Merston in the AFA Youth Cup, didn't they, last week?
And they
team left in it.
I know it's just a fantastic, and he's a great guy as well. He's a good guy. So I think going down I'm a firm believer in the youth is the future of.
Massive believer, mate. I'm
look
believer.
Look at Man United in the 90s. Teams like that. You've got to have a foundation where you can't just always be going, I'll take that journey, man, for 100 quid. He's gonna get me 20 goals, but that. Those and I know
sustainable, Mike, is it? That's the thing.
It's not.
You'll have a good season, maybe two, and then they'll always go somewhere else. Where right now, like I said to you, I've got Toad, Points, Wallers, Jeffkins, JP, Howard, and just them five. They're all over 30. Some of them are in the top end of 30, and then the rest of them are all under 23. Like Hambo, Hawkswell, Lucas, Ollie Clark, Evan Harris. They're all under 22, 23. So
he's one lad. Let's drill into this squad now. I want to speak about a couple of lads. I've got their stats up here.
Yeah,
I've seen the boy Harris play. I rate him.
Yeah,
I rate him. He seems to be an ever present in your squad. Do you know what I mean? 29 appearances, 12 goals.
Yeah, this Saturday though, didn't he? Got a penalty and missed it. That's why we drew 0-0. I'm not talking to him at the minute, mate.
But
no, we had a penalty in the crossbar, mate.
I saw him playing.
When he was at Eastleigh, and then when I came over to help Delanami for a few weeks, he was there, and I liked him then. And so when I got the job, he was one of the first I contacted. He won't appreciate me saying this, but I thought he was a lot older than what he was, and I did. And but he only turned 20 about 3-4 months ago, which I won't lie, blew my mind. And listen, he might be upset with me saying this, but again, he knows the person I am, and I'm a very honest man. He is seriously underachieving. His talent is so good, but he's not doing enough outside.
Okay, but that's a fair assessment because we both had
if he was proper fit, Mike. If he was proper, hence why he was at Eastleigh. If he was proper fit. He's 20 years old, and you know what I mean by proper fit. Running in the 90 like you were in the first minute.
Absolutely.
If he was that fit, he would be 3, 4, 5 leagues above, I think.
Wow.
That's my opinion. He's certainly be playing for Chai, or he'd be. It's unbelievable with the football at his feet and his calmness and holding the ball up, and you think, fuck, he's only 20.
Yeah,
but he's off the ball where he needs to improve. which I've told him, and it's the only thing stopping him, which is criminal because it's the only thing that's in his bloody hands.
Yeah, and do you know what? A lot of people have said this about you. You will tell them exactly what you would say to their face somewhere else. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely. Well, I think it's a travesty, mate. He's so talented. I'd like go and get yourself super fit. Go and like Howard Neighbour, 39, 38 years old.
That was my next geezer. Now look, I've come across him. I stopped playing probably about 10 years ago. I'm 42 now. Right. And he was coming about. Talk to me about him because he's been a servant. He has been a player all known around the county. I assume that's one that you're in there, your trust is there.
Mate, I'm gutted I didn't get to play with him. He's one of them players. I think I told him that. So I'm gutted I didn't play in the same team as you. He leads by example, mate. He's like, I say to the other lads, if I was in this team, I'd be embarrassed that man is outrunning me. And I would. You know, if I was a 23-year-old, 24-year-old, and there's a 38-year-old outrunning me on a pitch, I'd be embarrassed. I genuinely would be embarrassed. I'd be ashamed of myself. But
what's he like? What's he like in the change room? Is he a leader?
He's everything, mate. He's fucking good looking. His wife's fantastic. He's got great kids. You know, he's hung better than a wasp. So he's got the gorgeous teeth. Do you know what I mean? I don't know whether to punch him or kiss him all the time. I don't know. He's no, but what a fantastic player. If he's, I feel blessed to coach him now, but I'd have loved to have seen him 10 years ago. I'd have loved to have seen him 15 years ago. Do you know what I mean? He is like me and you played in an era where heading the ball was actually a super talent. Like it was an actual thing. You know, you practiced it at training. Do you know what I mean? I consider myself half decent in the air. That I've never seen anyone as good as him, ever, in all the years involved with football. Like, because he heads it the hardest way. He heads it with his backing up to the defender, which is always the hardest. You know, you've got that big centre half coming and leap over you. He's a centre half's nightmare, mate. He's a centre half. And what a wonderful human being as well. Just a fantastic lad.
I love that.
He's got a couple of years left, though.
Yeah, I do as well, because I'll tell you.
He's got a couple of years left. He really has.
I saw him play this season, and you wouldn't say he's 39 or in there.
No, he doesn't really get injured either. He's not massively injury prone, or
he's got a couple of years up in his head.
Well, yeah, this is it. And he didn't thank me because I play him in the 10, and he's like, I'm 38. I was like, don't care. You run more than everyone else. You hold the ball up, and now him and Evan again. Like, so when we break, I'm giving my tactics away here, but you know, we play him as like the 10, and then when we get the ball, he goes and joins Evan as the extra striker. So we go into the two up top when we have the ball. So yeah, he's vital for me, mate. I love him, but
there's a couple more we want to speak about, and this is no disrespect to the other players or anything like that. It's just looking at stats. Fine, mate. I want to talk about our boy Davidson. He seems to be an ever present for you.
Yeah, well, he's your 7 out of 10. He's, you know, that player you always have.
That Dennis Irwin type player.
That Dennis Irwin, mate. And he can run 5K in about 1 minute. Honestly, mate, he's about 1% body fat. He's crazy fit. And that's what I love. And yeah, he's my right back. He's solid as it gets. He scored 5 goals, isn't he? If I'm right.
He's got 4 this season.
4 this season from right back, that is, yeah.
Is that from right back, is it?
From right back, yeah. He's up and down, mate. And the way I like to play, like to add that extra man in midfield, I like to use my fullback. And he's incredibly fit, mate. And a brilliant player. He's getting better and better every week. He's getting better and better every week, mate. He's again, he's young. He's another younger. I think he's 22, 23, something like that. And he's the more he plays, the better he gets. He's becoming so solid. Very hard player to leave out the team. Even if he's played nearly every single game this year, I'd still find it hard to leave him out Saturday. He could probably do it with the rest, but
there's another one that seems to be pretty ever present. There's a couple of lads actually. Oscar and Ronald.
Oscar Johnston.
Yep.
Oscar, yeah, he's Mate, I'm probably got. He's tactical ability wise, he's probably one of the best in the league. We played Haywards East. They battered us 3-0. They put a 7-dayer in the next day for him. It says it all. Do you know what I mean? He will admit himself it has not been his greatest season. It really hasn't. But he has still got that magic that can just go and win you the game. And for me, as the manager, he's the one I constantly keep my faith with because it will turn. When you have that much talent, it will turn. And I feel like it has done last 3 weeks. He was great on Boxing Day. He was fantastic when we lost 2-0 at Vardinians after that. We were much the better team. Lawrence will definitely admit that. We lost 2-0. I had no centre halves, but he was fantastic in that game. And he was, again, brilliant on Saturday in the 0-0 draw with Linfield. He was fantastic. So I'm hoping he's got his mojo back because he's only about 5'3", but you can't get the ball off him.
I love that.
He cannot get. He won us the penalty on Saturday. He won us the penalty on Saturday, but unfortunately, Evan missed it.
Well, what I want to move on to now, the last bit of the show, because you've been fantastic and you've been so open and real. Exactly what I expected of you. You know.
Appreciate it, bud.
Say it how it says. I love that. I'm going to pick out 6 teams in your league.
Yeah.
I want the first word that comes to mind. All right.
Go on then.
Hassocks.
Gritty.
Haywards Heath.
Ballers.
Roffey.
A surprise. They were a surprise.
YMCA.
Battered them. I'm sorry, boys.
And finally, Petersfield Town.
We owe you. We are coming. Mate, we played them second game of the season, and
they're a decent side.
They are, but we felt we had the better of the game. They just scored 2 absolute worldies. Honestly, two of the best goals I've seen at our ground all season. And then at the end of it, their manager was saying they battered us, and I thought, you fucking are watching different game than me, son. So we owe them. We want to go there and give revenge that one.
We had their 2 gaffers on because obviously they're a bit unknowns because they're all from all that way over there. Do you know what I mean? There, but they're obviously doing something right now. I always end the show on 3 minutes worth of rapid fire questions. Okay.
Yeah.
Are you ready?
I don't feel like I did well with those one answer questions, mate. My brain's not great, mate. You threw me on the spot there. Go on, let's go on. I'm concentrating now. Go on.
Right. Okay. First off, just set my little alarm there. Lovely. Right. Let's look at that. Okay. You ready? Right. Let's go. Yeah. Messi or Ronaldo?
Ronaldo.
Tea or coffee?
Tea.
Post-match meal?
I don't eat ever. I don't, mate. I feel sick after football. I'd never eat.
Favourite alcoholic drink?
A Kraken and Coke.
Who's the football team you support?
Can I say 2? Because I'm Man United and Wrexham.
Yeah, but I'm United. I was happy with that yesterday, to be fair.
Oh, we were awesome yesterday, mate. Awesome.
Okay. If you were stranded on a desert island and you had to live with 3 of your teammates for a month, who are you taking? Not players, not your coaching.
Not my coaching, my players.
Not your coaching.
That is a tough question, that. You've killed me with that one. I'll take Pointing. Yeah. Because he's a tree surgeon, so he could climb the old palm trees and get the coconuts, couldn't he? So if I could take points, Pointing. I'll take Howard, just in case a boat full of ladies goes by. I think you might be able to claw them in. And I'd take Corey Heath because the bloke's fucking funny.
Who's the best player you never signed?
What for Pagham this
Yeah.
season? What or the player I'd love to sign that I've tried and couldn't get? There's two really. I'll take two.
Yeah.
I tried Lewis Rustell extremely hard. I really tried for him. I mean, I really tried for him. And I tried for Jack Barnes, but I knew that was going to be. But probably the biggest one, and people laughed at me, but I went and spoke to him, and I really, really thought he was going to. It was Danny Hollins, but he went and got. Yeah, I had a couple of meetups with him, and he definitely was interested, but he just said he owed Gosport Borough another season. So that I feel that might not be dead and buried yet.
All right. Well, watch this space.
Yeah, I'm certainly going to go hassling him again. If
you and your coaching staff were away from the game, who's the one player you entrust to manage the team for the day?
That I'd have to go with me skipper, Darryl Wallace.
Who's the one player you'd stay well away from it?
What? Not take control of that?
Yeah.
Corey Heath.
Who's
warm up.
Who's the biggest joker in the squad?
Corey Heath. Well, there's a few, mate. TJ, we got to be. That's the one thing we haven't had, and I feel like that's why the club is so behind us, even when we're having these difficult moments, mate. Because the banter in the dressing room is still exactly the same. We're all still laughing and joking of training because we're massively underachieving. Like we feel as a club, well, certainly me and Coops and as Jay Morris, Aspew, as a management group, we feel we've been beaten 3 times this season, and we've lost 12 games.
I personally think I've seen some of your results. I've seen how close they are. You should be at least 5-6 places.
Yeah, we've had some crazy, ridiculously shit losses. It's but we're under. That's why our goal difference is where it is. You know, I think we're the same as 6th in the league on goal difference or something, and then that's what I'm saying. We dominate a game, and then one mistake, we've lost 1-0. Like we dominated Lingfield. We hit the bar 3 times. We missed a penalty. They got in our half with 4 minutes to go, probably for the second time, and Connors pulled off an absolute genius save. Otherwise, we would have lost 1-0, and everyone would have gone how again. Do you know what I mean? It's like we've missed it. We're just not getting the rub of the green, mate. I know you make your own luck, but we're just not getting any, really.
And my last question.
Against Wick. We did against Wick on Boxing Day. We got some luck.
I did hear that. My last question. If I offered you for the following season to be winners of the Prem and the Cup winners, but you had to be a Saturday ref and a Sunday ref for a season, would you take it up?
100%. I just want success at the football club. Like I said before, first off, I want to, like everyone who goes into it, I want to leave the club in a better place than I got there. So for me, I want to help bring this youth set up together. So then there's a conveyor belt of players for the club, so you don't have to go and try and pay 150 quid for this bloke, 200 quid for this bloke. So that's what I want to do. I'm pretty convinced it's going to be my last job because, like I said again, you've got to love it, and Pagham means something to me. All the other clubs don't. So I know a manager's job is short, but I want to be here for a bit longer than most. Do you know what I mean? When I go back, because I want to, when I finish football, I want to be on the golf course constantly. I miss my golf. I don't play it because, like I say, football, I'm a 5 handicap. I want to get that to a scratch.
Ooh, blimey.
Yeah, I want to. Before I pop it, I want to be a scratch golfer. I can't do that when I'm a football manager. So I want to put all my time and effort into this. Hopefully, 2-3 years or next season or whatever, whoever we sign, just be in the mix for a playoff spot. That's all I want to feel. You know what I mean? I just want to be in that mix. I just want to bring some happiness to the fucking club, mate. I really do.
Well, Jason, I can see you're passionate about that. I love that. You're the type of manager I'd love to have played for. Proper, real, says it how it is, old school in that way. You've been wonderful. Thank you ever so much for coming on, pal.
Thanks for having me, mate.
I look forward to coming up and having a beer with you. I'll
buy it, mate. I'll buy it.
Yeah.
Listen, I think what you're doing with this podcast, fantastic, mate. Really good idea. I really hope it kicks off for you because it's a fantastic idea, mate.
You've been brilliant. Jace, thanks for coming in the dugout, pal.
No worries, my mate. Take care, son.